I wonder if the parents of the victims of the Nashville shooting today would still have their children if these trans bills in Tennessee were never a thing. I'm not a parent, but if I were, I'd be real mad at the government. I'd be real mad at the government.
Well, unfortunately, that pretty much sums up the leftist opinion regarding the horrific attack on the Christian Covenantary School in Nashville, Tennessee, which was performed by a trans activist, a female turned male, or identifying as such, perhaps on testosterone, which might have created the urge to perpetrate such violence, as it was out of the norm for the body and the psyche and mind. David Pakman also came out and stated, very surprising that there would be a mass shooting at a Christian school, given that a lack of prayer is often blamed for these horrible events. Is it possible they weren't praying enough or correctly despite being a Christian school? Wow. I occasionally used to listen to this buffoon, but I now know that he's actually an evil person who's mocking the death of children, mocking Christians, because that's what it's come to in America. And essentially what the left is saying, and here you have a trans activist group basically saying that hate has consequences with their statement. This is pervasive throughout the left, blaming Ben Shapiro and Matt Walsh and stating that they should allow child drag shows. And if the Tennessee did not disallow such via the law, then this wouldn't take place. Or blaming the gun, but not the individual who took these horrific and evil measures. All of the people that said trans people must rise up and take action against those hateful Christian bigots. Yes, because it's very hateful to say, no, I don't want my children sexualized. I don't want to allow this to happen to other children. The same way that you don't allow them to be exposed to pornography, to sexual activity. The same way that you protect them against the child predators, which is essentially what these people, these groomers, have become by trying to drag them to drag shows. There is no reason to. It is sexualization of children. But if only you would have allowed this, if only you wouldn't have stood in our way, then these children would still be alive. Or maybe you should have prayed harder, as David Pakman stated. This is the evil of the left-hand side of the aisle, and I don't think that there's any other way to state it. You stand down, you allow us to enact our depravity, and you don't take the political course as Matt Walsh, Ben Shapiro, the Daily Wire, who are in Nashville, have done by enacting laws that protect people. Oh, then it's excusable for the violence to take place. Oh, then we switch our attention to the guns, not what is fueling such horrific activity. This is a cult, as Tim Pool would tell you. These are people that want to run roughshod over you, that demand that you signal via taking the knee, sometimes literally in the case of Black Lives Matter, all these communists, I'm not even call them Marxists anymore. This is communist ideology that has taken over. You conform to the group norm, to the group narrative, or you are expunged, canceled, or in this case, killed. Do you think that it's random that this trans activist, who by the way apparently did go to the school, chose to attack helpless children and Christians, because the Christians today are being made to be the enemy. And at the same time, the federal government is telling you that MAGA Republican extremists are the huge threat to society as they allow Black Lives Matter and Antifa to burn down cities. As Wesley Hunt, the black congressman from Texas, who is a fantastic guy, inquired about, why aren't we taking the names of Antifa that tried to burn down the White House? Why are we only going after one political ideology? Those parents that try to stand up to CRT in the schools being questioned, being turned in, because the politics are turning America inside out, and it's being done from the left-hand side of the aisle, which is why I have parted ways from being left of center. I don't know whether it's because my politics have shifted that much. They certainly have in terms of guns and gun rights, because I recognize that when the police are told to stand down by those who are ideologically taken, citizens need to be able to protect themselves and from the tyranny of the government. And if you don't think that the tyranny of the government is taking place right now with everything that's happening, and they're encouraging this, and then they're trying to shift the blame away from the ideology that is performing all of these shootings, whether it's the non-binary in Colorado or these others that are pictured here. This is where it's coming from, and they're going to create a rift. They've already have created a rift in society where law-abiding citizens are those who are bearing the brunt of these horrific activities and are told, don't you dare stand up for yourself. The same way that those who enacted the laws in Tennessee against child grooming, against drag shows, have been told, oh, at the very start of this video, that redhead leftist states,
parents of the victims of the Nashville shooting today would still have their children if these trans bills in Tennessee were never a thing.
don't you wish that you could have this moment back? Don't you wish that the government hadn't enacted such policies protecting children? Because we're going to come and get them one way or the other. And as we all know, gingers have no souls.
Ginger kids have no souls.
And this girl is the embodiment of it. And all of those people affected with this woke mind virus have had their souls and reason sucked out of them by the demon that is occupying them. And that's where we are, people. So be peaceful, but stand strong against these evildoers, against this mind virus, and tell them that you will not tolerate it, and make sure to protect yourself. And God bless the cops that took out this shooter in a short period of time, unlike Uvalde, where they allowed the shooter to rampage through and kill more and more people. God bless America. God bless you out there standing up for truth and righteousness.